Okay, so we're going to be talking about transformations. Normally, the parent function looks like this. F of x equals x squared. However, we have number one. What happened here? They added 9, so what does that do to my graph? Yep, it goes up 9 spaces. So we're going to write up 9. Number 2, this will be down 2 spaces. Number 3, do you guys remember what happens when there's a negative in the front? Yes, it is a reflection across the x-axis. So it reflects over the x-axis. And I have a plus 5. Yes, left 5. Y'all remember. It's always opposite inside of the parentheses. So here we have a minus 4. That means it went to the right 4. And we have a minus 1 outside. So this went down 1. So guys, if we forgot our transformations, I'm just going to write some notes over here. I'll write it like this. A x minus h squared plus k. Okay, if it's a minus h, x minus h, that means it went to the right h spaces. And if it's an x plus h, this went to the left h spaces. The k determines if it goes up or down. So if it's plus, it went up. If it's a minus, it went down. The a in the front will determine if it's a vertical stretch or a compress. Compress if it's between 0 and 1, and a stretch if it's greater than 1. Okay? And if there's a negative, that means it's a reflection. Okay, so if you forgot, please write these little notes off to the side. Those are the different parts. Okay, so guys, I have a 1/3 in the front. So based off of what I just wrote here, that is a compress. So this is a vertical compress by 1/3. And it also went up 2 spaces. There's nothing inside parentheses here, so it did not move to the left or to the right. Here, this is a reflection. So it reflects over the x-axis. It's a stretch by 2. And then it goes to the left 4. All right? So I'm going to let you guys do number 7. Let's go ahead and move on to actually graphing what these look like. So let's look at this one. First, let's talk about the transformation. They gave us the equation here. The negative is a reflection, so I'm going to write it reflects over the x-axis. The 1/2 is a vertical compress by 1/2. The minus 3 inside means it went to the right 3 spaces. And it also went down 2 spaces. So I'm going to just graph what this looks like for now. I'm just going to graph the vertex. My vertex, it went to the right 3 and down 2. So this is my vertex. I'm going to go ahead and put that point in my table. I'm going to put it at the very center of my table. 3, -2, that's my vertex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick numbers to the left and to the right of my axis of symmetry. This is my axis of symmetry here. So I can do this. I'm going to do the numbers surrounding 3 so that I can plot some points. So let's go ahead and plug a 1 into my formula here, into my equation. If I plug in a 1, let's see what happens. What is 1 minus 3? -2, and then we're going to square it, 4, and what's -1/2 times 4? -2, and then we're subtracting 2, -4. Okay, so when we plug in when we plugged in a 1, we got -4. We plugged in a 1 here. So 1 goes with -4. All right? So when I go ahead and graph this, I know at 1, it'll it'll be down here at -4. Let's plug in a 2 and let's see what happens. Let's plug in a 2. So let's do some algebra. Actually, not algebra, some arithmetic.
Let's put it on -5.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Right here at -4. Boom. All right. Now let's go ahead and plug in number 2. We're going to plug in a 2 here. So 2 minus 3 is -1. We're going to square it. -1 squared is 1. And then we're going to multiply 1 by -1/2, which is -1/2. Minus 2, it's -2.5. So when we plug in a 2, we get -2.5. So 2, -2.5 is right there. Now, the thing about a quadratic is that this side looks the same as this side. So I'm just going to copy these points. If you plug in a 4, you'll also get -2.5. If you plug in a 5, you'll also get -4. So that's what your graph will look like. All right, this is the next example. You guys need this example? No? Okay, I'm just going to get you started. What is my vertex?
4.
Yes, your vertex is 4 and 1. Opposite of this, and then you write that. So my vertex is at 4, 1, right here. And you can put that in your table. Now just pick some different numbers. Do the numbers surrounding 4. Plug those in and see what points you get, and then you'll be able to graph it. Roughly, I know it's going to look something like this because it's facing down because there's a negative in the front. It's going to look something like that, okay? So I'm going to let you guys fill out the table yourself. Okay, let's move on to a different problem. You guys know how to handle that one. Let's go to something like this. I'm going to have you guys choose either 1 through 10. Which question would you guys like me to do? Number 10? Okay, so I'll do number 10. Can y'all read it to me, please? Minus 4x minus 5. Okay, so the direction says write each function in vertex form and give the vertex. All right, so the formula to get the vertex is h equals -b over 2a. We're going to put this in vertex form. So this is my a value, my b value, my c value. My b value is -4. So I'm going to erase this b and put a -4 there. My a value is -1/2. So I'm going to erase that and put a -1/2 there. Okay, so let's simplify what this is. 2 negatives make a positive, so this will be 4 in the numerator. And 2 times -1/2 is just -1. You can turn this into a fraction and just multiply across. So if you need to see this, 2 times -1 is -2. 1 times 2 is 2. This is just -1. That's why I put -1 here. And this is just -4. So I found my h value. We're just going to plug that in. So I'm going to plug this into my original equation here. So I'm just going to erase this x, erase this x, and I'm going to plug in a -4. So -4's will go in here. All right. So -4 squared is 16. And what's half of 16? 8. So this will just be -8. -4 times a -4, this becomes a positive 16. And we're subtracting 5. -8 plus 16 is just 8. Minus 5 is 3. So that means my vertex is -4, 3. It says give the vertex, so we just gave the vertex. And what was our a value? -1/2. That's right up here. That's your a value. So let's go ahead and put it in vertex form. Vertex form looks like this. A, times x minus 8 squared plus k. So our answer will be negative 1/2, that's our a value, x plus 4 squared plus 3. The reason why it's a plus 4 is because we have a minus already and we plug in a negative 4. Two negatives will make this positive. So that is your answer in vertex form. We went from standard form to vertex form. Okay? All right. So that's that section. And then this one is just graphing. So you guys have number 11 and 12 on the bottom. Which one would you guys like me to start? 12? Okay. So this is number 12. Can y'all read it? Perfect. Okay. So first it says convert it to vertex form and then identify the vertex and also identify the axis of symmetry. So let's go back to the previous example. So I know what my vertex is, correct? So if I were to make a table, I will have negative 4 and 3 in my table. And if I wanted to graph it, I could. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That is my vertex right there at negative 4, 3. And then just plug in numbers surrounding negative 4. Let's plug in negative 3. Let's plug in a negative 2. Let's plug in negative 5, negative 6. Okay? So let's plug in a negative 3 into my equation. So if I erase this x and plug in a negative 3, negative 3 plus 4, you're going to get 1 squared. This will be 2.5. You'll get 2.5 for both of these. So that will be right here at 2.5. 2.5. And then let's plug in. All right, now we're going to plug in a negative 2 this time. So I'm going to erase this and plug in a negative 2. And 2 squared is 4. Half of 4 is 2. Yep, we're going to get 1. So we'll get 1 for both of these. Thank you, Luke. And so at negative 2, we'll have a 1 there. No 1 there. So this will look pretty much like that. Okay, so guys, the process is the same for this question here. You're going to first put it in vertex form like we did, and then you're going to fill out your table and then graph it. Any questions, guys? No? Okay, so guys, yes. Number 10, yes, right here. All right. So I'm going to let you guys work on this. This page is due tomorrow. So if you don't finish in class, it is homework. Okay. Yes. Yes. Over there. Okay. Also, guys, there is a class kick. Let me write this on the screen for you. All right, guys, there is a class kick for the Unit 4 review. Class kick. There's this resource for you to study. There's also a Delta Math activity for you to use in order to study. I also posted that quiz video, right? Of me going over the quiz. So that is on YouTube. So you can use all of these resources to study. Nope, this is optional. This is provided for you to study. The thing that I'm taking for a grade is just the homework that we just went over. Okay? All right, so guys, I encourage you, I guarantee you, the people who do these assignments will do much better on the test. You get more practice. So don't just go home and be like, oh, I'm free, I don't have any more homework to do. Please do this practice. There's a class kick available to you. There's a Delta Math. And there's also that quiz that I posted on YouTube. Okay? All right.